This is Ray with the I don't know what if video. I hate starting every video with an apology that it's been too long since the last video, but here we are. I have been in a not good place mentally really since beginning mid of December. And it has a lot to do with what's going on in politics and socio-culturally and in the world, and things suck. Also, I've had some extra stress with my job, so that probably is part of what pushed me over the edge. But that's why I have not really been up to making videos, and I still don't really feel up to making a video, but I'm going to do that anyways, because I know that that's what I need to do, is disregard whether or not I feel up to it and just fucking do it. But that said, I really did mean to make one in January. We had a house guest from out of state, so that did keep us a little busy as well. But yeah, so this is the video I meant to make in January. Still haven't had top surgery. 3 years on testosterone now, and doing pretty good. The face that I see in the mirror now honestly looks like a lot of the role-play characters I used to draw in high school. I don't know quite what to make of that, but it was kind of my generic, ideal, masculine face. So I can't complain about that. I can complain about nose hair. Nose hair sucks. Rotary nose hair trimmers are terrifying. They don't warn you of that. But none in the ears yet, so that's good. But the neck, why? I'm not sure why I'm growing a pelt. So yeah, the body hair situation is continuing to increase, so that's interesting. Still hoping to have top surgery somewhere in my future. But yeah, socially I present as male everywhere I go. I'm not in the closet anywhere, but I do have passing privilege, which remains a surprise. I still have moments where I'll be talking to somebody who knew me before, and they'll say something, or we'll be talking about something from further back, and I forget how different I look now to how I looked then, because in my head this was just me. It's not that I've forgotten how I look now, it's that I forget that I looked different before, that I didn't look before the way that I look now, because this is always who I was inside all along. So that's just an interesting mental thing that happens. The thing that I had thought about to talk about in this video is actually religion and spirituality a little bit. I've been taking voice lessons for over a year now, and continuing to sing in the church choir, which that is my payment for voice lessons. They're free otherwise, and honestly the singing in the choir is also part of the lesson. But it is a church choir, and that's a different experience for me. I did sing in a Unitarian Universalist choir with my wife a number of years ago, and that was alright. It was a lot more non-religious music, so it was different, whereas this is an Episcopalian church, and it's very traditional. They do communion. They sing a lot of very religious stuff, and to a certain degree, it's weird to me because it's a lot of praise God and holy in Jesus, and I don't want to say I'm uncomfortable with that, but it's definitely very foreign. I am okay with doing it as a service for the congregation. I mean, it kind of feels like a job, and you do the job. But the guy that's giving me voice lessons yesterday actually asked me, he said, you know, he wanted to reassess, did I feel uncomfortable? Because he didn't want me to be in a situation where I feel uncomfortable. And he knew from the outset that I'm not Christian. So he just wanted to check, and I really don't. I have a strong awareness that I'm an outsider, but I don't feel uncomfortable. Nobody has tried to convert me, and that's definitely helped make me feel more comfortable. I think if somebody was like, oh, well, you're here, you need to be baptized, you need to take communion, you need to be, you know, involved in this, that would make me very uncomfortable, but nobody has done that. Also, it's a very, very liberal church. I've met so many gay people there. It sounds like half the choir is gay, which is fascinating to me. Even at the UU church that we went before, it was not that heavily skewed towards a LGBTQIA population in the choir or in the church. So that's very interesting to me. I don't know who all is watching this. If it's me watching these retrospectively or close friends of mine, they will know my background and upbringing pretty well. But for anybody who is more of a stranger to me, I was raised by New Agers. We went to psychic fairs when I was a kid. I took part in and led guided meditations as a child. We're talking grade school level. So it was a different upbringing. There are certainly some things from that I have carried with me. Like reincarnation, I grew up with just kind of implicitly believing, and I've analyzed it and questioned it and everything, but I have found no reason not to believe that. But my father's kind of a born-again Buddhist. My mother's beliefs are interesting. You know, they are not themselves Christian. And I feel like I was basically raised being taught how to not be part of an organized religion. And one of the shaping experiences of my life was some friends of theirs who they used to talk spirituality and all kinds of things with. And then those friends became priests of Eckankar, which probably a lot of people haven't heard of. It is a religion, it is not a cult. And I've told people this story before who didn't know me and weren't familiar with it, that those conversations shut down because they couldn't openly discuss things as much, because when you follow an organized religion, this is what is the truth, and other things are not the truth. So that kind of shut down some of those open discussions, and I noticed that evolution of them not discussing spirituality anymore, not discussing things freely because, well, in Eckankar we believe this. This is what we believe. Not, it could be this, it could be that, it could be that, which is what I was raised with. And I've told people this, and they're like, oh, Eckankar's a cult. But all organized religions have a truth and a set of beliefs. And the things that fall outside of that set of beliefs or contradict those set of beliefs, well, if this is the truth, something that contradicts it can't be the truth. And it does kind of, you know, shut down some of those open discussions. That's not true for everyone. There are certainly people who only take what they need, you know, take parts from a religion and are open about a lot of other things. But the nature of organized religion is that it is an organized religion. It has a structure. It has a set of core beliefs that the followers are expected to adhere to. Whether or not all of them do, they are expected to. That is the expectation of that church, of that organized religion. So growing up so much outside of that, I was set up to not be able to fall into that. So I don't think that I will ever be able to follow any organized religion. When I was younger, I did a lot of researching and learning about all kinds of different religions, but I couldn't limit myself to anything that believes that they know the truth, because my own personal beliefs are that I don't know. I will never know. That's part of the human experience, that we don't know. We might believe certain things, but we don't know. And I'm okay with that. A lot of organized religions are not okay with that. Not knowing that uncertainty, that is the thing that scares people. So, yeah, I have a problem with organized religion just for that reason. So, I remain an outsider. I'm okay with that. Other people seem to be okay with that, so it's all good. But it is a Christian church, and I am very aware of that. And I know that religion and politics are supposedly separate, but America is a Christian nation. Anyone who says otherwise is lying to themselves. This country was founded by Christians. They put God in the Constitution. We have the Pledge of Allegiance at school, where we say we pledge to God. That used to make me very uncomfortable as a child. I know there are people on my Facebook feed who are very good friends who are like, we should bring that back into schools. And I don't want to say anything, but I always felt awkward with it. I felt shut out by that, and I did not make a big fuss about it as a child because I was a quiet child. But I would sometimes simply not say it. Just, go through the motions. Which is not something that I feel like doing these days. I don't take communion in church because I don't want to be going through the motions. I don't think that's fair to the people for whom it is meaningful. But the church that I'm going to sing in choir is very open, very liberal. They have said things in sermons that make it clear to me that they are trying not to be political, but also that make it clear to me that they are very unhappy with the current political powers, which, all good, we're on the same page there. But I also know that there are certainly a lot of people that are in favor of the current people in power who are Christian, and those two things are inextricably tied together for a lot of people. I don't understand it, but Christianity has been used as a weapon historically, and I'm very cognizant of that, and I can't shut that out. Christianity has been used in the name of suppressing LGBTQIA people. There are certainly, like the place that I'm going to, a lot of LGBTQIA-friendly churches, but that doesn't erase the people who use Christianity as a weapon against LGBTQIA people. And I think that people who are in more accepting churches need to be aware of that. You can't say, okay, we're not like that, so Christianity is not like that. Because it's not as black and white as that. I'm not sure what conclusion I'm going for with this. I'm just brain farting at the camera. But yeah, I can't let go of that awareness. And when anybody that I encounter starts talking about their religiousness, and that they are Christian and that they have Christian beliefs, I tend to go quiet and take a step back and wait until I find out more about them before I trust that they are an LGBTQIA supportive person, because the odds statistically are not necessarily in favor of that. And I'm sure there are other LGBTQIA people who have this experience as well, that somebody starts talking about God and their faith, and that they're a churchgoer and very involved in their church, and you have to kind of wait and find out what church. What is that church's political, alignment? What is their cultural alignment? Is this somebody it is safe to be myself around? And it's really sad that that is a question that we have to ask, and it is sad for all the amazing, awesome, accepting Christians out there that is a thought process that LGBTQIA people have to go through when they hear somebody as Christian, that there is that negative association. But that is the way it is. It shouldn't be, but it is. So, yeah, that's part of my reservations. I have other reservations too that have to do very specifically with some of the religious tenets, but I'm not going to go into that here. Anyways, in the going back into politics thing, that's definitely where some of my poor mental state has come from. Honestly, the bushfires in Australia kind of hit me too, and I have no good reason for that to affect me other than just it is bad shit going on in the world. I freely admit I have no close specific connection with that. I don't know anybody who lives in Australia offhand. But, yeah, I mean, stuff's going on. And I don't understand why there are people who want to deny that stuff is going on. It is February here. We have had 2 times this winter it snowed. Both times it snowed so briefly that it didn't even hit the ground, really. It melted when it hit the ground. That's not normal, even for here in Virginia. I've been here close to 20 years now. I may not be a native, but I've been here damn long enough to know that this is not a normal winter. And I see the news, and I need to watch less of the news because it just depresses me. Things are changing. Things are not right. Things are not okay. I also don't know what the rest of this year is going to hold. Obviously, we are gearing up for a major year in politics, and there's only so much of that I can take. I feel bad sometimes avoiding the news because I want to be informed. I want to know what's going on in the world. But I just don't have the spoons. It knocks my mood down. It puts me into a state where I struggle just to get through my day. And I'm noticing signs of depression in myself. I'm noticing a lack of interest in doing the things that I enjoy because I just don't have the energy or the mental capacity at the end of the day. And I know that that's not right, and that's not normal. I'm not at the point of seeking a therapist or going on medication for it, but I've been there before. I'm not ashamed to say that I've been there before. I don't think I'm in quite a state where I need that at this point, but I'm trying to keep an eye on myself. I say this because I'm sure there are other people out there who are in a similar state. Particularly the kind of people who might be watching these videos. So, yeah, it's okay to not be okay. I'm not okay. I'm not terrible, but I'm not okay. So that's a depressing way to finish out the video, but I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But, if anybody out there sees this and needs somebody to talk to, feel free to drop me a line. My door is open. Even if you're watching this video and it's been months since I made it, go ahead, say something. I'm watching. I want to be here for other people. I'm a little low on spoons these days, but I know I have more than some people do. I do not have clinical depression. I do not have anything that impairs my ability to function on a daily basis in a major way. I say this because I have other friends who do. So I know from watching that how difficult it can be. And because I'm in a better place than some of the other people that I know, I want to be here and support other people that might be worse off than I am. So anything I can do to help with that. I do have hope. I've also been here long enough. God, I'm over 40 years old now. I've been around long enough to see that there is definitely a pendulum swing to politics, to culture, to socio-political stuff. The pendulum swung the farthest that it had ever swung in my lifetime in a direction that I was so happy with. I am now legally married to my wife, which there was a time that could not happen, and I had not changed my gender marker yet when we got married. So that was a big thing. People sometimes, hear how long we're together, and we've only been married, it'll be 3 years this spring. And they're like, why didn't you get married sooner? You've been together almost 20 years. Well, legally we couldn't. So yeah, there's been some big changes that have made that possible. But then, of course, the pendulum has swung in a different direction. Rights are being taken away. A lot of people like me who maybe don't have the same social support system that I do are living in fear. And it's not a good place that we're in right now. But pendulums swing back. Progress is not a line. Progress is a series of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And right now we're in 1 step back, and it sucks. But I have hope that we'll take another step forward again, and another. And probably eventually another 1 back, and then another 2 forward. It's a struggle, and I don't want to be unrealistic about that, but it is progress. I have faith that we are moving socially in a direction that we should be. I am the tail end of Generation X. I see a lot of millennial stuff, and technically I'm not a millennial, but I see so many people younger than me that are just so open and so accepting of things in a way that I wish people had been when I was young. And, I don't have anything against people who are older than me. I have met so many people older than me that are awesome. But there is a generational shift socially. That's normal. That happens all the time. And I can see the direction that generational shift is moving, and that gives me hope. So, hang in there, guys. Life is not an easy journey, but it is a journey, and I think it could go in a direction that is not terrible. This is just a rough patch. So, I'm not sure that's the most optimistic message to give. I don't want to sound cynical. I've been a little cynical ever since I was younger. But I have hope. I have hope in people. I don't have hope or faith in institutions, but I do have faith in people. And I have faith in all of you. So, I recorded the song separately before I recorded this, but I will leave you with a song for today. I feel like my voice lessons are helping. I feel like my enunciation and breath control in a lot of aspects of my singing are improving. That's a journey too. Some days I feel like I take a step backwards, and then I keep moving forwards. So, yeah, song at the end of the video, and keep holding on to hope, guys. I'm here for you. I believe that there is light, though the world is dark tonight. Storms are raging like a dog they bite, and it feels like winter, but I believe the winter, that youth will show us what they've learned. The old generation will crumble and burn, 'cause this is winter, so I need the light. Oh, I need the light. I need the sun to rise and let my heart ignite. I need the light to come into my life. We can make it through the night. Holding on, hold on so tight. Take my hand till the morning light. We'll make it through winter, 'cause I believe the storm will break. Youth will triumph, yes, they'll make mistakes, but I know they'll win whatever it takes, 'cause this is winter, so I need the light. Oh, I need the light. I need the sun to rise and let my heart ignite. I need the light to come into my life. Yes, I need the light. Oh, I need the light. I need the sun to rise and let my heart ignite. I need the light.